Hello all, welcome to today's session on digital transformation. Digital transformation, as you know, has become a key priority for enterprises across industry segments. This session demystifies digital transformation and touches on technologies that drive digital transformation. A quick introduction of myself. I'm Shankar Kamampati, CTO for large financial services client of DXC. I'm currently driving several digital transformation initiatives, both within my organization and with my clients. By the way, I'm one of the 4 distinguished architects in DXC, and I'm author of the book shown on the left, SOA and MSA for Enterprise Cloud, Big Data and Mobile, which is a Wiley publication. Incidentally, I've covered several architecture aspects related to digital transformation in the book. That book is available on Amazon and other online channels and retail bookstores if you're interested. I'm also a member of the Forbes Tech Council, and I write articles for Forbes.com. You can Google on my name and you will get access to those articles. I'm also a member of IEEE. Okay, let us look at the agendas for today's session. I've structured this session to present the what, why, and how of digital transformation. I'll give examples of digital transformation using different technologies, but with particular focus on artificial intelligence and machine learning, IoT, and ARVR. As you all know, that these are hot topics for digital transformation, and I would like to touch on some of these. Let us first look at the what of digital transformation. Depending on who you ask, digital transformation is different things to different people. Like you see in the picture up there, an elephant being described by different people in different ways. To the technologist, it is applying cloud, and to a clerk who is scanning forms, it is freedom from the desk. For the CEO, it means new services to provide access to organization, products and services. To the millennial customers, these young customers who are in the 10, 15, 20-year age group and who are always on their mobiles. In this session, the focus is on the big picture than individual parts. Let us look at digital transformation with an example from our everyday work at office. I love Dilbert cartoons, and here on this cartoon on the slide, we have a succinct example of an everyday task of setting up a meeting that has been digitally transformed and automated. We all set up meetings, right? And so in this cartoon, you have in the first picture, the pointy head boss asking his secretary to set up a meeting. In the second picture, there is a smartphone which is listening to the manager's request, understands the spoken request, and identifies the 2 people who are part of the team and automatically sends them a calendar invite for the requested time of 10 a.m. So this is digital transformation. Digital technologies, when properly applied, can transform everyday tasks like setting up a meeting. Obviously, the pointy-haired manager is not fully into digital transformation, so he finds it awkward. Ideally end-to-end, like I said, without any human intervention. Also, the other important thing is that digital transformation is not a one-off thing. It should be seen as waves, or what we often use, iterations, for enhancement of capabilities of the enterprise, thereby leading to improvement of user experience because of the increased automation. As we become more and more informed about user behavior and what we need to meet the expectations of the user. Consider a text-based chatbot that enables you to access your bank information. Most banks these days provide these text-based chatbots. They ask you a bunch of questions. Basically, a bot comes on and asks you a bunch of questions related to your account, authenticates you, and gives you the account balance. This user-centric self-service approach could be the first wave of digital transformation of a bank. But then, if you were to go a step further and introduce a smart speaker, say Amazon Echo or Google Home, and then create a voice activated solution, then that would represent the second wave. Now let us look at why digital transformation has become important. In 2 words, it is because of digital disruption. As digital becomes the default method of interaction, with all of us using our browsers and mobile phones and what have you, it is forcing change and disrupting almost every market segment. Technology companies, especially fintech companies, are causing disruption in the marketplace with innovative products and services using new technologies such as AI/ML, IoT, and AR/VR. What this is doing is that it is forcing all enterprises to respond to the disruption and compete in products or services provided by them. By them, I mean the technology companies. To do that, they are having to adopt new technologies, redesign business processes, IT processes, so that they automate end to end, and in doing so, digitize front office to back office. This has led to digital transformation. Now let us see how the financial services industry is being disrupted by digital technologies. Briefly said, the role of the bank and traditional money is being disrupted. Money is no more a physical currency note. We all know after demonetization how important online payments are. So basically, money has become a digital blip that is transferred between people's digital accounts. There was a time when people spoke about e-commerce. I still remember this was the early years of the decade from 2000. Today it is about commerce done from the mobile. Almost all of us pay our electricity bills, make fund transfers, etc. from our mobiles. In 2015, mobile commerce was $163 billion. Today, globally, mobile commerce alone is at least $693 billion. Also, earlier people used to use computers for work. Then we all started using desktop to shop or listen to music. But in 2015, tablet shipments outpaced the entire PC segment. Today in 2018, smartphones alone are double the sales of PC. More people own a mobile phone, it appears, than they own toothbrushes. Going clockwise in the figure shown in the right side of the slide, for every person who visits the bank, there are more than 30 online interactions. In 2015, $2.3 billion payments happened over the mobile provider. Today in India, we have a new class of banks known as payment banks that only facilitate payments that have emerged from mobile providers. Now let us look at the digital transformation that banks need to deal with. All banks have no choice but to provide mobile apps for their users that not only allow them to know their account balances, but also transfer money to other banks and invest in other financial instruments such as mutual funds. This requires that they integrate their core banking systems to payment systems and provide microservices based mobile apps through which customers can access services and perform transactions end to end without human intervention. This is straight through processing, automating front to back. Not only that, they also need to integrate with chatbots, which is both text and voice activated, and provide a high value experience to customers. Now, all this is digital transformation. If banks don't do this, they will have no customers. By the way, the financial services industry is one of the highly disrupted industries. Not only is digital transformation needed in financial institutions to provide competitive products and services for the traditional ones, but also to introduce new products and services that are only possible through digital technologies. Now that we have covered the what and why of digital transformation, let us also look at the how of digital transformation. The first step in how of digital transformation is the approach to digital transformation. And I'm going to cover that in the next couple of slides. This slide shows an approach that has worked for me for the digital transformation initiatives I've taken up. The first thing is that we need to get basics right. This means we need to get a good understanding of the current products and services of the enterprise, the future business strategy, and a map of the IT systems and processes they support. Amidst all these hype that we see about new technologies, digital transformation, and all that, my view is that we shouldn't forget the basics, because the basics will get you to build your future right. Okay, once you got your basics right, the next step is to run a smart innovation program. We need to get key stakeholders in the organization to generate ideas that will enable users to get end-to-end experience of the products and services with little or no manual intervention. This should also help identify representative use cases for digital transformation. In my view, those people who work day to day on business activities or in supporting the systems, they are the right people to come up with the ideas. Of course, you can have an innovation team, and the innovation team can come up with ideas too. But the people who work with the systems and business processes on a day-to-day basis, they understand the pain points quite well, and they can come up with very good ideas. Once we have the ideas and representative use cases, the next step is to come up with a minimum viable product. We normally refer to it as an MVP. So MVP is a product that has just enough features to satisfy customers who are early adopters. Whenever you're trying something new, it is better you try with a small set of features and fail fast. If that doesn't work, change the use case, change the feature set. It is the basis against which we get our customers to provide feedback for future product development. So MVP is important. Therefore, the next step is to choose the right technologies and develop minimum viable product, the MVP, as the first wave of implementation for each of the identified use cases. Once we have the MVPs, we can build on them and implement front to back automation with digital technologies. Now, one key point to be kept in mind is that digital transformation really never ends. You start digital transformation and then you can attain a high level of maturity, but the continuous disruption both from digital and technology perspective in the industry will require ongoing efforts. In the previous slide, we had referred to the need for smart innovation for digital transformation to generate ideas and representative use cases. Let us drill down a little deeper here. This slide shows some key focus areas for innovation. Let us begin with mobilization and go clockwise. We all know that workers are becoming mobile and need access to data and processes anywhere at any time. Starting with email, you would want to know your account balance, to be able to book your movie tickets, to plan your vacation, flight tickets, so on and so forth. So workers are mobile and they want to be able to access the data and get work done wherever they are. This means that a range of use cases and solutions may be identified for workers to consume services through the mobiles and tablets. Now, catering to the needs of mobile users is an important focus area for ideation and innovation. Next, let us look at digitalization. Every day, life assets are becoming digital. Take your watches, TVs, cars, and so on. The experience of shopping has gone digital. It is not necessary to see or feel the actual physical good. By the way, the ARVR technologies are also helping you get some of it. But more on that later. There is an opportunity here to come up with ideas for a range of solutions with these devices that can provide an end-to-end experience with little or no manual intervention. Now, going down clockwise further, another focus area is socialization. People, devices, apps and services are increasingly becoming socialized, sharing and collaborating their experiences with others. Innovative solutions such as Banjo, I don't know how many of you have used that, can harness these social interactions to provide new services that otherwise would not have been possible. For instance, the Banjo app, I like this app, aggregates gigabytes and terabytes of social content to provide trending events, news and sports. It can use the aggregated content not only for end users but also to provide services, basically intelligent information as a service to insurance companies and other industry segments and monetize it. Last but not the least is cloud. Cloud is seeing increasing adoption with communication and interaction with users being driven by cloud services and cloud backends. I have written quite a bit about this in the book, SOA and MSA book. So what we are seeing is increasingly systems of engagement, which is what the users work with, will move to cloud and access data in systems of record, which are the backend processing systems that are located in data centers. This means solutions may be developed to extract value from legacy assets in data centers and make it accessible on demand to end users through digital transformation. All these trends provide increasing opportunities to break through traditional barriers and reinvent the service using technology. No longer is access to a market a barrier or technology to scale a barrier. We all know the world is flat these days, and so anybody anywhere has an opportunity, and with some good innovation they can compete with big players. Smart innovation fueled by accurate analysis of market needs will enable promotion and proliferation of services and products to the target market segments, limited only by our ingenuity to extract value from the ecosystem and provide them anytime and anywhere to the users. Small, nimble organizations are able to attract and deliver to the market in ways that large, slow organizations are not able to. What has happened is that the large organizations have grown doing the things required to deliver services at scale to customers better than others. But now, due to market disruptions and new technologies, there is a need to do things differently and remain competitive. All this is fueling the rapid pace of innovation. Having looked at the approach, let us now look at the exciting set of technologies that may be considered for digital transformation. There are a number of technologies that are key to digital transformation. The top 10 that I consider important are listed on this slide. At the bottom of the list are the SMAC technologies, social media, mobile, analytics and cloud, which are already mainstream. Again, in my book, I have given several examples on how to leverage them in the context of digital transformation. DevOps technologies that enable this rapid iterative development and deployment of solutions is also mainstream. Many of you, I'm sure, are working on it. So DevOps technologies are foundational in nature to get our solutions up and running. So that is something that we will need to look at as well. But the top 3 technologies that are rapidly gaining adoption are the ones that I would like to focus on in the rest of the session. I will touch on them and provide some examples, but given the duration of this session, I will not be able to drill down. Of course, you can always reach me later in case you want more examples. Let us first look at artificial intelligence and machine learning. AML is perhaps the most widely talked about technology in the context of digital transformation. This picture is drawn from a very nice article titled "How Financial Institutions Are Turning AI into ROI" by the Financial Brand. Using the components of machine learning, natural language processing and cognitive computing, there are several AI applications within banking. One is fraud detection, shown on top right circle. AI has the ability to identify fraud behavior while it is happening, as well as identify what the next pattern of suspicious behavior will be. Location data can assist with this process. Next is chatbots. AI provides the opportunity for improved and faster decision making by deriving deep and actionable insights. Especially this comes in very handy when you want to study the customer behavior patterns. Some of these interactions will be with new voice or chatbot technology, while other applications will be behind the scenes supporting marketing communication. There are many other opportunities. I would suggest that you take a look at this article in Financial Brand. Very insightful. Let us next look at an example with IoT technology. The use of IoT, where we are digitizing assets, is disrupting traditional asset or equipment management and maintenance. The slide shows asset condition monitoring using IoT. I picked up this use case from an AWS site, and it can be implemented quite well with AWS IoT. Basically, what it does is it captures the state of your machines and equipment, so you can understand how the asset is performing in the field or on the factory floor. Typically, parameters such as temperature, vibration, and error codes indicate if the equipment usage is optimal, but it's hard to capture this manually, since the technicians need to physically inspect equipment and machines. Sending device health indicators to the cloud from these machines lets operations staff know where capacity is under or overutilized without sending people to the physical inspections. With IoT, you can capture all IoT data and monitor performance and health of equipment, machines, and vehicles. Now, with this increased visibility into your assets, you can maximize utilization and fully exploit your investment in machines and equipment. This is very important from a factory point of view. So this is digital transformation in asset condition monitoring. The last of the three technologies I wanted to cover today is ARVR. ARVR technologies and applications are disrupting by allowing us to see under the hood of places, things, and systems. What ARVR gives you is this visualization that enables us to do our tasks with more information and therefore better, which we couldn't think of before. So this slide shows ARVR use case in automotive from Bosch Systems. Automotive technicians can use Bosch's AR system to view the part that they need to work on, highlighted against an image of the actual engine or component that needs repair. While there are many other use cases you can think of with fancy headsets, such as being able to see the heart of an organ of an animal or human before performing an operation, this use case I felt was a lot more relevant in an enterprise context because it enables digital transformation. So the technicians can overlay on the actual component the details of the specifications of the component that needs to be replaced, and then use that information to do their job. All this brings down the effort needed to make the change and also get it right first time around. That's the beauty of AR/VR, and I think we will see a lot of it in days to come. To conclude, here are the key takeaways from today's session. I touched on what, why, and how of digital transformation. Hopefully you could get an understanding of why digital transformation is important. You will see digital transformation being discussed from several points of view. I have tried to filter the signal from the noise, as they say, and present to you those aspects that have worked for me. I've also stayed more at a conceptual level than give you a whole lot of detail. We can now get into Q&A. You can also email me at skambhampati@gmail.com, which is on the next slide.